Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel GSI PUC Mysore. In today's video, I'll be continuing with the third session of the second chapter, that is transistor biasing. In the earlier sessions, I already told you what is transistor, what is DC load line. What is transistor anta helidre adardu basics poorthi helide. I told you the characteristics of transistor and what is DC load line anta. In the first two sessions, I have already explained. In this session, I'll be dealing with what is called as the Q point, which is nothing but the quiescent point and which is also called as the operating point. So in the last session I already told you output characteristics is nothing but a set of curves which gives the relationship between VCE and IC for different values of IB for constant base current. So this is one IB value. If I consider this as 0 and these values as different base current values, so this is the characteristics. In the last session I also told you that a DC load line is nothing but a straight line drawn on the output characteristics. So what is this operating point, or what is this Q point, or what is quiescent point anta helidre, the intersection of the load line with the output characteristics of a transistor gives a point what is called as the Q point or the operating point or a quiescent point. So these are itself the Q points. Idine now Q points anta kariyodu because at these point this DC load line is intersecting with the output characteristics. If I call this as Q1, I can call this as Q2, Q3, Q4 and so on. In the last session I already told you that below this IB value is equal to 0, the curve or the region which lies below that IB equals 0, that is called as the cutoff region, and this linear region is called as the saturation region, and this constant region is called as the active region. In order to draw a DC load line, we want two separate points, and these points will be named as VCE cutoff and this will be called as IC saturation, IC sat in short. So why it is called as VC cutoff? Because that point is lying in the cutoff region. So that is called as VCE cutoff, and IC sat because that is lying in the saturation region, so we are going to name it as IC sat. For different values of this operating point, for different points of this Q point, I will be getting different VCE and IC values. If you look at this particular diagram, I will be getting different VCE values as well as IC values, and those VCE values will be written as VCEQ and ICQ. What is this Q? That is the point of the operating region, the point of a Q point. So ICQ and VCEQ are nothing but the 2 points which defines the operating point. If I consider any operating point separately, if this is the load line, if I consider this point, this will be called as ICEQ and this will be called as, VCEQ and this will be called as ICEQ. But this, the ends of the load line will be named as VCE cutoff and this will be called as IC saturation or IC sat. So this is all about the Q point or the operating point. The intersection of the DC load line with the output characteristics of a transistor gives a point what is called as a Q point. Let us try to understand this Q point with a simple circuit using an NPN transistor. Let us consider this circuit where we are using NPN transistor, for which beta value is given. What is this beta value? Current gain of a transistor whose value is equal to 20. So here what we have to do is we have to calculate the Q points of a transistor, or the operating point must be calculated. For that we are having this formula beta is equal to IC by IB. For different values of IB, in the output characteristics as I already told you, IB value will be remaining constant. So IB value will be given. For that IB value we have to calculate IC. Once we know the IC value. Once we calculate the IC value, then we have to calculate the other point, what is called as the VCE. VCE na calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆಮೇಲೆ. So let us first try to calculate IC if IB value is given as 25 microamps. For IB equals 25 microamps and for beta is equal to 20, if I am going to alter this equation, IC equals beta times of IB. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? Beta is 20 into IB is 25 micro. 25 micro ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 10 to the power of minus 6. So 25 2s are 50, 500 microamps. So this is IC value. Now in order to calculate VCE, because we want two different points, right? For one is ICQ, the other one is VCQ. So in order to calculate that, let us apply KVL for this particular loop. So this is the voltage source, and this voltage source will be providing the voltage to RC and between these two terminals. This is an NPN transistor, emitter, base, collector. So the voltage 10 volts will be distributed across RC and these two terminals. So let me call this as VC itself. VC is equal to voltage drop across the resistor RC. Let us denote it by VRC, and the voltage drop across the collector emitter junction, let us name it as VCE. So VC equals VRC ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ the current into that resistor RC plus VCE. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? Now let us calculate this VCE. VCE equals VC minus IC into RC. VCE equals VC minus IC into RC. If I am going to calculate VCE for this, VCE equals VC ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ 10 minus 500 into 10 to the power of minus 6, and RC value is 1 into 10 to the power of 3. Why 10 to the power of 3? Because RC value is 1 kilo ohms. So 1 into 10 to the power of 3. So this value will be equal to 10 minus 500 into 10 to the power of minus 3 ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? So 10 minus 0.5 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೋದು, because you have to shift the point towards the left side. 1 2 3 0.5. So 10 minus 0.5 is 9.5 volts. Volts yake? Because the unit for this voltage VC is nothing but the collector to emitter voltage. So collector to voltage, the unit in volts. So 9.5 volts. So I'll be getting IC equals 500 microamps and VC is equal to 9.5 volts. Let me draw that over here. The output characteristics will be representing VCE and IC. I'll be having a different set of curves for different IB values. I'll also be having a straight line, that is a DC load line. For that particular value, let me call this as ICQ and VCEQ. 9.5, if I mark 9.5 ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನೇ 9.5 ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ VCEQ and this will be ICQ. Let me mark this point as Q1, the first operating point. Now, if I change the value of base current to some other value, 20 ಇದ್ದದನ್ನು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನಾನೇನಾದ್ರು 40 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, it will be changing over here. 25 ittu, now I have changed it to 40 micro. So 4 2s are 800 microamps. Now for the same expression 500 micro ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 800 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. $800 into 10 to the power of minus 3. This value will be equal to 0.8. 10 minus 0.8 will be equal to 9.2 volts. So this is the new value. ICQ was 800 and VCEQ is 9.2. 800 anta helidre, this will be above this obviously, and this lies over here. Let me call this as Q2. So what is happening in this particular circuit? For different values of IB, I am getting different operating points. Q point ಕೂಡ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ವೇರಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ IC is depending upon the value of beta and VC is depending upon this IC. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ beta vary ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ IC will also vary. If IC is varying, VC will also vary. So what I am trying to tell you is, in the earlier session I told you that the transistor has to be stable. The transistor should remain in its constant value whenever there is change in the temperature. The temperature variations will be happening in every circuits. So in spite of the temperature variations, the transistor must remain in the stable condition. But in this particular circuit, the transistor can never remain stable because whenever there is change in temperature, the beta value will be changing even though IB value is constant. IB constant idru kuda beta value change aagta hogutte. Since beta value is changing, IC will also vary. IC vary aitu andre VCE will also vary. I mean to tell that the Q point will be shifting either towards the cutoff region or towards the saturation region. Whenever I want to operate this transistor as an amplifier, the Q point has to remain at the center of the active region. It should not shift either towards the cutoff region or towards the saturation region. Because of the variation in temperature, because of the variation in this beta value, the Q point is shifting from one point to the other point. So this cannot be done practically. So in order to avoid all these things, we are having a separate biasing circuits. There are 4 types of biasing circuits. So these are the 4 types of biasing circuits what we are going to use. One is fixed bias, collector to base feedback bias, emitter feedback bias, and the last one is voltage divider bias. Out of these 4, voltage divider bias is most frequently used because the stability of the transistor using this circuit is more compared to all these other types of biasing circuits. While selecting a Q point for any different applications of a transistor, mainly there are 2 types of applications of a transistor. That is, one, it is used as a switch. Secondly, it is used as an amplifier. Whenever I want to operate the transistor as a switch, I have to make sure that the Q point is lying towards the saturation region or towards the cutoff region depending upon the condition of the switch. I mean to say, saturation region hatra nanu Q point na select madkonde, the transistor will be acting like a close switch. I mean to say, the transistor will be acting like a on switch. Other transistor, the Q point is lying towards the cutoff region, in the sense the transistor will be acting like a open switch, that is a off state of a switch. Whenever I want to operate this transistor as an amplifier, the Q point must always lie at the center of the active region. So these are the 2 points what we have to consider while selecting the transistor for any of the applications. So out of these 4, I told you voltage divider bias is most frequently used. Let us try to understand this in detail. So this is the circuit what we are going to use for voltage divider bias. Here I have taken an NPN transistor. Here voltage divider, the name comes from these 2 resistors, that is R1 and R2, because these 2 voltages are behaving as a potential divider across the voltage source, across the DC voltage source. Here VCC is the voltage source what we are applying. VCE is nothing but the voltage that is measured between the collector and the emitter, and this is the base terminal of a transistor. RC, the collector resistor, RE, the emitter resistor. So this voltage divider bias circuit is used in the initial stage of an amplifier. What do you mean by this initial stage of an amplifier anta helidre? If I am having any signal of this type, sinusoidal signal ide whose value is very very small, but I want this signal to be amplified to a larger extent. ತುಂಬ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಆ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ನ ಆಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಅ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಒನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಸ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು use a multi-level amplifiers, a multi-stage amplifiers. At each stage of the amplifiers, the signal will be amplified to a higher extent. So this signal will be amplified to this much, and again this signal will be amplified to this much. Later on, finally the output will be the amplified version of this simple input. So this voltage divider bias is used in the initial stage of the amplifier circuit, initial stage of the multi-stage amplifier. Now let us try to understand what is this voltage divider bias. In the earlier topic I told you that I cannot use that particular circuit because whenever there is change in temperature, the beta value will be changing. As and when the beta value changes, IC value will also change. IC value change aitu antandre VC will also change. That is, the Q point will try to shift itself towards the cutoff region or towards the saturation region. In order to avoid that, we are using this particular circuit, that is voltage divider bias. So what happens in this particular circuit? Here the voltage drop across RE itself forward biases the emitter base junction, because in an amplifier circuit we know that the emitter base junction must be forward bias and the collector base junction must be reverse bias. So the voltage drop across this resistor R2 forward biases this emitter base junction. And coming to this transistor, that is the NPN transistor basics nalli we know that IE will be equal to IB plus IC, where IE is nothing but the emitter current, IB the base current, IC the collector current. Since the emitter terminal or the emitter region is heavily doped, there will be more number of free charge carriers. So the electrons, while moving, the electrons try to cross the junction and reach the base terminal. Since base is lightly doped, only a few number of electrons will be occupied by the holes. Recombination takes place and the remaining number of electrons will reach the collector terminal. So IE will be equal to IB plus IC anta gottayitu. As and when the temperature changes, IC will vary. Aita, temperature vary aitu antandre IC kuda vary agutte. Let us consider that the temperature is increasing. Temperature increase aitu antandre IC value enagutte? Obviously it will also increase. Since beta is equal to IC plus IB agirodrinda, if IC increases, what happens to beta value? Beta value will also increase, right? IC increase aitu andre beta value nu kuda nange increase aagta hogutte. So beta value will also change. Since IC is increasing, what happens to IE? IC will increase aitu antandre IE will also increase, right? So IE will also increase. If IE increases, the current flowing through this resistor RE is nothing but IE. IE increase aitu athwa IE vary aitu anta helidre, the voltage drop across this RE will also change. Since IE is increasing, the voltage drop across RE, even that will change. Hottane. This voltage drop change aitu andre, if I apply KVL for this particular loop, I told you that the voltage across R2 itself will be acting like a forward biasing condition, or this will forward biases the base to emitter junction anta. So VR2 is equal to VBE plus VRE. So I am not changing the value of this resistor and I am not changing the value of VCC. So this VRE will remain constant. Either constant agirodrinda, if this is increasing, what must be the condition of this VBE? Obviously it must decrease. Yakantare we have to maintain this constant value. So since this is increasing, VBE will be decreasing. If VBE decrease ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, the voltage across the base to emitter junction is decreasing ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, the base current ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಕೂಡ decrease ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಈ base current decrease ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, the output current, that is the collector current, will also decrease. On a whole, ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ IC ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನನಗೆ IC ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ at the end will be decrease. There will be a proportional decrease in the collector current compared to the increase in the collector current whenever there is change in temperature. So whenever the transistor come across with this change in temperature condition, it will automatically compensates itself and maintains a stabilized value or maintains its stability anta ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. So this voltage divider bias is most frequently used because it gives the stability to the transistor. ಈಗ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Let us consider that the voltage drop across R2 is equal to V2. ಈಗ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಡಿವೈಡರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ನಾನು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜನ್ನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ two resistances into the voltage source. So this is the voltage divider formula. Now let us try to write KVL for this particular statement. So the voltage across R2 is already named as V2. So V2 is equal to, what is it? VBE plus the voltage drop across the resistor RE. So this can be written as VBE plus the voltage drop across RE can be written as IE into RE. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? So this is equal to V2. But we know that IC is approximately equal to IE. ಯಾಕೆ? The emitter, I already had written this formula, IE is equal to IB plus IC ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ. Since this IB value is small because it is lightly doped ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ IE value ಏನಿರುತ್ತೋ that will be approximately equal to collector current. So ಈ IE ಜಾಗನಲ್ಲಿ I am going to substitute as IC into RE. If I am going to manipulate this expression, IC will be equal to V2 minus VBE divided by RE. So this is one particular expression for IC. Similarly, if I try to apply the KVL on the output side ಗೆ ನಾನು KVL ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, apply KVL to collector side. So that VCC is equal to the voltage drop across this resistor, let me write it as VRC, plus the voltage drop across these two terminals, that is VCE, and the voltage drop across this resistor, that is VRE. VCC equals voltage drop across that resistor is current into that resistor. The current flowing in this particular resistor is IC into RC plus VCE plus the current flowing through this RE resistor is IE into RE. But we know that IC is approximately equal to IE ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ VCC equals ICRC plus VCE plus IC into RE. If I take IC as the common factor, VCE plus IC of RC plus RE. Now I want the expression for VCE. IC already ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ, ಇವಾಗ ನನಗೆ VCE expression ಬೇಕು. So VCE equals VCC minus IC of RC plus RE. I hope you are getting this. VCE equals VCC minus this entire thing, that is IC of RC plus RE. So this is the expression for VCE. So if you look at these two expressions, it is free from the term what is called as beta. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ನನಗೆ ಬೀಟಾ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನನಗೆ ಈ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಡಿವೈಡರ್ ಬಯಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ the transistor will be much stable. The Q point will not be shifting from one place to other place, or the Q point will not be shifting either towards the cutoff region or towards the saturation region whenever there is change in temperature or whenever there is change in beta, because these equations are free from the beta parameter. Now let us try to understand the end points from these expressions. Just now I had got these two expressions. Let us consider this particular expression. Let us call that as A. So end points draw ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, at these points I want a point somewhere here which lies on the x-axis itself. x-axis ನಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ y-axis value will be equal to 0. y-axis ನಲ್ಲಿ I want a point in the sense, then x-axis value will be equal to 0. So now I have to substitute IC value will as 0 in that particular expression. ಆವಾಗ ನನಗೆ VCE value will be equal to just VCC itself. Here I got a point as VCC. Now for the same expression, if I substitute VCE value as 0, VCE value na ನಾನು 0 ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ equation 0 equals VCC minus IC of RC plus RE. VCC equals IC of RC plus RE. IC equals VCC whole divided by RC plus RE. So this is the point for IC. Another VCC by RC plus RE. So I got the 2 points. Then I am going to draw a straight line between these 2 points, and this line will be called as a DC load line. A point in a DC load line using this voltage divider bias. Now let us do the last part of this voltage divider bias, that is the Q point analysis. Let us apply the KVL for this base region as well as for this collector region as we did in the earlier case. So this KVL apply madre, we are going to get the voltage across this resistor R2 is named as V2. V2 equals VBE plus IE into RE. IE will be equal to V2 minus VBE divided by RE. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? But IC will be approximately equal to IE. So IC is V2 minus VBE divided by RE, which can also be called as ICQ. That is the operating point on the y-axis. Similarly, by applying KVL on the collector side, VCC equals the voltage drop across this resistor, that is IC into RC, plus this voltage drop VCE plus the voltage drop across this RE, IE into RE. Since IC is approximately equal to IE ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, I can substitute that IC into RC plus VCE plus IC into RE. If I take IC as the common factor, VCE plus IC of RC plus RE, that is equal to VCC. Then VCE equals VCC minus IC of RC plus RE, which is also called as ICEQ. Like this, I got 2 different points. That is very much essential in order to mark a Q point or the operating point, which is also called as the quiescent point. So using these expressions and V2 over here, V2 anta helidre R2 divided by R1 plus R2 into VCC. So VB will be given, IC value ಅಥವಾ RC RE value ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Using that you have to calculate this ICQ and VCEQ. So this is all about the voltage divider bias circuit. This is most frequently used practically because the stability of the transistor using this circuit is more compared to all other biasing circuits. Welcome back to the part 2 of this session. In this session, we will be dealing with SMD transistors. Before that, this is one PCB board which contains a number of transistors. As we have already discussed in the earlier session, transistors na nan torsidde BC547, which was of this similar type. These are transistors, even these are transistors, and we are going to see a number of resistors connected over here, a number of capacitors connected over here. So there are a number of different electronic components which are mounted on one single PCB board. But the size of this PCB board is very, very large. I cannot use such type of PCB boards in any of the mobile phones because there is a space constraint. So ee thara board na nanu use madakagalla. SMD transistors came into existence. SMD anta helidre surface mount device transistors, and the structure of the transistors will be like this. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು 2 ಥರ ಏನು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ನ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ SL100 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ BC547 ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೋ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಬಟ್ ದ ಸೈಜ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಶೇಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್. ವೈ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೌಂಟ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೀಸ್ transistors can be easily mounted or can be easily placed on the PCB board. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇದನ್ನು ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೌಂಟ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ದ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಆನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಆ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಆ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. ದ ವೆರಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ A stands for it is a germanium transistor. B ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ silicon, C gallium arsenide, D indium antimide. ಅದೇ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು C ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ it is audio frequency amplifier, D audio frequency power amplifier, F low power radio frequency amplifier, P high power radio frequency amplifier. Like this, a series of alphabets and numbers will be printed on the SMD to identify which type of transistor is this and for which applications we are using this transistors anta. Numbers anta bandaga, the main important thing what we have to recognize or what we have to see on the ICs is the alphabets. Numbers are different for different companies. ಅದೇ BC486 ಅಂತ SMD ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ B stands for silicon, C it is an audio frequency amplifier. ಸೊ BC486 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is nothing but a transistor which is made of silicon and used as an audio frequency amplifier ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅದರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೀಸ್ SMD type of transistors are BD187, AD486 and AC140. So this is the modern PCB boards what we are going to use in almost all of the electronic devices. Earlier slide nalli ನಾನು already ತೋರಿಸಿದ ಹಾಗೆ there were a number of transistors, resistors and capacitors, but here in this particular picture all the electronic components are seen in the same way. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ SMD components, surface mounted components. So these type of PCB boards are now seen in almost all of the electronic devices. With this, I am going to conclude this part of the session. Thank you. So let us finish this session at this point. I'll be coming soon with the next session. In that session, I'll be dealing with some of the definitions regarding this particular chapter. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.